Svetitsko Cathedral is Georgia's most important religious center. It stands where the country's first Orthodox church was built in the 4th century.
Jesus Christ's robe is buried here. It was brought here after his crucifixion.
Before Archimandrite Elia became one of the Georgian Orthodox Church's most proeminent members, he was an agent with the Soviet security services. He even rose through the ranks to become deputy interior minister. At the time, the communists were watching the church closely.
There was nothing in the law that banned the church, but communists knew that they could not be seen praying. Some used to go to church secretly. The names of those who got caught were put on a list. The people on it would not get good jobs. Some actually got fired. These measures lasted until the end of the Soviet Union, until the 90s. After that, when we started fighting for independence, things changed. The church took the lead. Other political forces were vying for its support.
After the independence, the church became the backbone of the burgeoning Georgian state, cementing its influence over society. Today, it enjoys constitutional protection, does not pay tax, and has its say on education in the country.
Religion has a very important place in my life. This church is very close to my heart. I've been coming here since I was 4.
The country should be free. It should be free of negative influence and restrictions, especially free of any foreign influence.
Nearly 84% of Georgians define themselves as Orthodox Christians. Many feel their traditions are threatened by Western liberal values as the country prepares to formally apply for EU membership in 2024. Before he became a priest, Father David was a pro-independence activist in the 90s. He too is worried.
Of course, the Church supports the idea of Georgia becoming a Western democracy. And we are a part of Europe. But we shouldn't have to lose our culture, to lose our traditions, and replace them with other traditions.
30 years after the independence, the church's traditional values are being questioned by an increasingly liberal youth that was born well after the Soviet era. On top of that, it is faced with scandals. It is accused of being behind the violence that led to the cancelling of an LGBT march here in Tbilisi on the 5th of July.
Around 4,000 people were mobilized by church, and they were therefore praying in front of the parliament. So it was a peaceful anti-LGBT protest. But around 1,000 people were this active physical force which executed the operation, and they were scattered all around the city. It was a huge attack on liberal-minded society in Georgia, progressive ideas, pro-Western ideals, EU integration path, because on that day as well, the EU flag were burnt twice.
If a vast majority of Georgians support the country's bid to join the EU, most also reject the bloc's policies regarding sexual minorities. Father David lives in this Soviet-style suburb just outside Tbilisi. He's married and has 5 children.
Okay, come to the table.
My children have faith. Okay, they don't practice much, but they have a strong attachment to the church.
Yeah, my father is a priest, but he's my father too. He's not only just a priest, he's not in the bubble or something. I really think that the church is being attacked really bad and from different angles. They think that if they are able to do bad things, they are free. No, they are not free. They are controlled by other people's decisions and other people's ideas about freedom.
People my age, they just want to be cool. And believing in something or having a faith is kind of not coolish or something like that. So, yeah, that said, I think so.
The next generation of Georgian Orthodox priests is trained here, at the Tbilisi Theological Seminary.
იმ შემთხვევაში გადარჩება ადამიანი თუ კი ის თანაზიარი გახდება წმინდა ზიარების მადმოსვლებისა და ზოგადად თქვენ იცით რომ მართალია ზეღმერთი განკაცდა
432 students attend courses here.
If the European Union or whoever demands that we reject Orthodox Christianity and reject our traditions, that will be unacceptable for us. Completely unacceptable. Regardless of what young people want, it will still be unacceptable.
The church is not, and I'll say a bad word now, it's not an NGO. The church is a mystic body of Christ, and those who fight the church are really fighting Jesus Christ. No one ever has won this battle, and no one ever will.
16 centuries of battles have taught the church to hold its ideological ground and play the long game. A strategy that recently saw it through 7 decades of Soviet oppression.